Hello everybody, my name is Rojo, and welcome back to Realms of the Haunting. We are going to take this opportunity to do a sort of another extra episode because we've come pretty far in our adventure, and there are quite a few things that I think Adam and Rebecca could discuss that might give us some interesting insight into the story. So that's what we're going to be doing in this episode. Then when we come back, we will deal with this fire situation, which I have figured out. So let's go ahead to our information panel here and just look for some new stuff to chat about. Like Alf, for example. Do we ever talk about Alf's blade?
Alf talked of the dagger as a key, a device to enter Raquia.
That's true. And Raziel only allowed us to remain in Raquia because of the presence of the dagger.
Well, we've already been to Raquia. What about the blade's magic?
Odd blade. Curved. Apart from being a key to enter the realm of Raquia, it helped us against Belial. Took his face clean off.
I think the design and style is somewhat Indian.
So, yeah, we've seen the results of that.
So Alf is a product of the Soul Stone. That's what Hawk said. If the Soul Stone is the lock, then Alf's sword is the key, part of the shrive. That means that Alf's sword was eternity. It would seem some events have been brought about too soon. Certain prophecies. That's why Alf is here. To help put mankind's future back on course. To restore the equilibrium. Well, Alf's spirit, that is. He fell long ago, defending the Soul Stone with his Falshire Knights. Felt of Florentine and his demonic hordes at Falshire Field. Now only his spirit remains. Although powerful, he cannot take up his sword once again. Apparently it's down to me. Great. That's just great.
Yes, it is, Adam. Alright, what about his metaphors, which we heard about in the church a little while ago?
Go with open eye. Alf meant you and your psychic powers.
Indeed. And go with the wings of angels, one of those feathers we found at the glass window that led us to the Dragon Helm.
He also mentioned something about my voyage to the tower.
No riddles there.
And the last was that the sword of the dragon being held aloft to light the way.
Eternity. The dragon sword, taken from the Soul Stone by Florentine all those years ago. A single act that began everything.
Indeed. And what about Sheol?
On our last meeting, Alf told us to take the dragon sword Eternity to Sheol, to the chamber of the Soul Stone.
I've got a feeling that's not going to be as easy as it sounds.
What was that he said about destiny?
That your ultimate destiny and all your unanswered questions would be answered there. Mine too.
What do you think he meant? About you, I mean.
I don't know, Adam. I really don't.
That is troubling. I don't think there's anything new about Rebecca herself. Talk about her pendant, I suppose.
Rebecca's pendant feels strangely close.
Well, she is right next to you, and I don't think you have the pendant anymore, actually.
This looks like something Alf would wear.
Perhaps. There's a connection to something. I can't be any clearer than that.
Connection to Alf?
Alf's breastplate. The cuirass. It makes me feel somehow... I'm not sure. I feel ready to take on anything.
That's surprising. The cuirass is imbued with Alf's courage. Part of whatever constitutes his spirit has been passed on to you.
Imbued, huh? Now that is a word I don't think I've ever heard before. So, yeah, I think we may have talked about Gaul before, but let's just check in again.
We've seen Gaul twice now.
3 times. You also saw him in the mausoleum. Remember the visions you had when you were branded?
I do, but why do you? Oh, she read our mind when we first met her, I suppose, so that would probably do it.
Gaul said something in the temple. Do you remember?
I remember clearly. He said, "By the 7 be bound, by the 7 to come, the power of one, thy will be done."
Prophetic words.
Indeed. Guess he's probably talking about the seals to some extent there.
Gaul. I wonder what his role is in all of this. What's he doing in that green crystal he took from the temple? Weird. Strange eyes. Nice hat. Judging by the card, I have a feeling he's looking for me.
Yeah, that's a possibility. We haven't really had any FaceTime with him just yet. I don't know if I think we talked about the beast already. And I think we've talked about most of this tower stuff except for maybe these ones here. So let's discuss the tower and Florentine.
Shed any light in the tower?
Well, according to his journal, Florentine and his acolytes used the tower to travel somewhere. The journal goes on to name a place called the Chamber of the Soul Stone, within a place called Sheol.
Sheol. That's what Raphael called hell.
Yes, it is.
We already know that Florentine used the tower to travel to Sheol and the Chamber of the Soul Stone.
Yes, in the second part of the journal, we found he mentions feathers.
Feathers?
Some of his servitors were found dead in the tower. One was found with a bloodied white feather in its mouth and wounds from some enchanted blade.
Yep, I do remember reading about that in, I think, the second journal.
The tower. Strange place. And Raphael. Well, what should I make of him? The last of the gardeners. And the tower itself. He claims he's its guide. According to Florentine's journal, he used the tower too. Like a goddamn highway.
Is that language really necessary? So what's guy got to do with this highway? Oh, actually, well, it's an interdimensional portal system that possibly could lead to heaven. Alright, you got me.
The ire. That's got something to do with the tower, right? Some sort of cloud. Raphael described it as being a dark phantom cloud of spirits.
Yep, he did. We haven't actually interacted with the ire at all, I don't think, unless that's where the voices we've been hearing have been coming from. I'm not too clear on that, but I think it's basically what happens if we fall off the edge of the tower. That's the ire.
The ire. The voices we heard in the tower. The voices of its many devoured and tortured souls. But where does it come from? Doomed to wander the tower. God, if the magic of that place somehow failed, what then? The journal mentions the ire. Florentine. He mentions it personally. I must read those tattered pages again. Maybe the answer lies there. Answers to the ire. The answers to why I've been brought here.
So, I guess that actually just sort of confirms what I just was hypothesizing, is that the voices are indeed the ire itself. I think we've talked about Belial in the shrine, but perhaps now is a good time to remind ourselves.
Belial wanted the shrive. Must have been part of his plan, whatever that was. It's over now.
It might have involved Florentine. He was after the shrive too, wasn't he? In the mausoleum?
Indeed, although, Adam, I don't believe it's over now. I think it's only just begun.
You know, Rebecca, if it wasn't for you, I'd still be Belial's honored guest at Motel Hell. You don't believe what I saw was real, do you? My father...
An illusion, designed solely to provoke emotion, notably anger, and designed so Belial could finally get his hands on eternity in the shrive. Your hatred of him is understandable.
If it hadn't been for my temperance, I hate to think what would have happened to us at the hands of Belial.
Ah, so that does shed some... I think we went with him willingly as a sort of trade. We give him the stuff and he doesn't super duper kill our dad, I guess, even though he's already dead. Something like that. That's sort of what it sounds like from that. And who would have thought that the what was it, the Lord of Lies would try to trick us with an illusion? Voice in the tunnels, that we already know about. I think we already know about that as well. Florentine, there's probably something we can discuss about him. Don't know. It's been a while. These are both the same.
Claude Florentine. This Elias Camber fellow. His parcel and his lies. Who the hell can he be?
Claude Florentine, alias Elias Camber. According to these parchments, he was a Knight Templar and the priest of this temple, the Temple of the Morning Star. The first entry written in his journal is dated 1330, and the last 1521.
Come on, Rebecca. That would make him nearly 200 years old. And with him being here over 500, that can't be possible.
Can't it, though? So, yeah, we had heard that one. That's regarding the first journal. Maybe this one's regarding the second?
Those new pages from Florentine's journal shed any new light on who he is?
Not really. We only know that he was a Templar knight and the head priest of the Temple of the Morning Star.
You mean shithead priest?
Adam, I know how you must feel. Let's try to be constructive here.
Sorry. I was thinking of Dad.
I know. Look here. Around the 17th century, he begins to note and write about his dreams. Dreams of a sword.
A sword? Alf's sword? The sword of the dragon.
Ah. So there's a little bit more that we can learn here. Let's see.
Dreams are more significant than I imagined.
Most dreams are. Florentine dreams about a sword and a place where it was guarded from him. He goes on further.
Go on.
Look. How about reading the journal yourself for a change?
I will if you can tear yourself away from it for 5 minutes.
Well, perhaps you'd rather I'd left you to it.
Rebecca, just give me the damn book.
Oh, shit. Let's get a little tense here. Relax, guys. Try to be constructive, right, Rebecca?
Florentine. What does he want in all of this, apart from the shrive? And what's this dream about a sword he mentions in his journal? Head priest? Head case, more like. A fanatic, that's what he is. Wherever he is. Been around for a while, have we? Long enough, I think.
Sounds like you're willing to do something drastic, Adam. Like, murder this man. Although, to be honest, he's been trying to kill us, for quite some time now, I think.
Anything in the journal I've missed on this soulstone chamber?
Well, it seems to lie within a place called Sheol. Something went on there. Something involving a sword and the fires of hell.
True to form.
Indeed. Regarding Sheol.
This Sheol place. Know anything about it, Miss Trevisard?
In the Old Testament, Sheol is the Hebrew version of the Greek Hades, hell, or part of it anyway. It's commonly regarded as the place where the dead exist, as shades, or as a place of torment for the wicked. You should feel right at home.
Sounds like hell, all right. Raphael said it's possible to get there through the tower. Hell. This is crazy.
Yes, it is, and it's not going to get any more sane anytime soon, I don't think. We did, talk about Raziel at one point. What about his appearance? I think we saw him, but we didn't see him in his true form.
Any ideas as to what Raziel might look like?
He usually appears as a tall man.
Thank Christ.
We've definitely heard that one.
You think we'll come across Raziel again?
Who knows? He's one of those mysterious figures. He could pop up at any time. Coincidence has a long arm, you know.
When we located the Key of Tears, didn't Raziel say that Hawk could never again be interned by his power?
Correct. If things get out of hand, maybe we could find a way to capture Gaul in the same manner.
Let's not get too ambitious, Rebecca.
Interesting thought, though. And interred, I think they mean interred, but maybe there's another definition there that I am unfamiliar with. Alright, we talked about the chamber of the Soulstone, but what about the Soulstone itself?
So Hawk explained the mystery surrounding the Soulstone. It's part of the law governing all things, isn't it?
It's a channel, if you like, attracting all living thoughts and giving them form. Evil thoughts manifest as demons, and where pure thoughts are concerned, we have angels.
Come on. Those are mankind's terms, right?
Yes, man's terms.
So where does God, the Supreme Being, come into all of this?
The Is, or God, is the supreme embodiment of all man's pure thoughts, but without form.
What about the other? The evil?
Satan, Lucifer, all the other names for evil. Yes, that power exists. It's the sum total of all the thoughts of all living things evil.
Then in my humble opinion, Rebecca Trevisard, we're shafted.
Adam, that's why you're here.
Yeah, you say so.
Alf's helm makes me feel somehow ready to take on everything. Can't explain it. So the dragon helm's our ticket to enter Aqua.
It's also very magical.
You're not kidding. My thoughts, they become so clear.
In tune with your surroundings? You should be. The power of the helm's altering you. It's tuning into your psyche, fashioning and moulding it.
But for what? Why is it doing all of this?
Now that, Adam, is something we'll all just have to wait for.
Will we now? The answer is yes. Yes, we will. What about Aqua? Did we skip over that one? I guess I did.
Well, we've been to Aqua, seen the Gardens of Righteousness, sampled Paradise, and procured the Dragon Sword. What next?
Sheol.
Save the best till last, huh?
Indeed. Okay, so we did that. The Ire and the Dodger. Right, we read about this in the journal as well.
The Ire presides in the tower. But what I want to do is know more about this Dodger I keep hearing about.
Well, after trying to track the thing down in the 17th century, Florentine comes to the conclusion that the Dodger is somehow controlling the Ire.
Controlling? A thing like that?
Yes, and he describes in graphic detail what happened when he stumbled on it. It's all there in the journal, entry dated April the 18th, 1895.
Alright, good to know. And then last but not least, Waterman from, well, Aqua.
Who do you think that spirit was who procured eternity?
Well, given the Persian undertones of Aqua and the fact that he materialized from a fountain, there's a good chance he was Tishtria.
I've heard of him. Yes, the Iranian god of water.
God of all water, clouds, lakes and the sea. He was an ally of Ahura Mazda, the wise lord, in the struggle against the dark forces of evil under Ahriman and Mythol.
Okay, Rebecca. That was a long time ago.
Well, seems like she knows quite a bit about it. Alright, well, that's everything. That's all the stuff that we can discuss. So, hopefully that was enlightening. I think I learned a couple things I wasn't quite clear on. So, yeah, when we come back, we're going to progress on and see if maybe we can get that sword back. Because, it seems like it's probably pretty important.